Hello. Um, Today we are just going to read. That's what I've decided. Because yesterday we had some explanation around these. So today we are just going to read and understand if anything requires to be understood. So let's start with this point. Point number 14. Uh, it says, so when sugar recovery rate is multiplied with 40 kg of cane, it produces 4 plus kg of sugar, which is 10.47% into 40 kg of cane, which equals to 4 kg and 188 grams of sugar. So that was simple. You multiply cane, for number of canes with the uh, sugar recovery rate percentage here, and then you get the total quantity of sugar. Now that point number 15, now that it is known that 40 kg of cane produces 4 kg 188 grams of sugar at 10.47% rate, the per kg sugar quantity can be found by dividing the 4 kg 188 grams of sugar with 4. Now that we know that 40 kg of cane produces 4 kg of sugar, we can and the sugar recovery rate is at 10.47%. So per kg sugar quantity can be found when we divide 4 kg of sugars with 4. So if you want to find out let's say if it's 4 kg of sugar and with some additional percentages like here 1.88, and you want to find out what quantity is per kg of sugar, so you simply divide with 4. You are going to get the 1 and the additional grams, if there would be any in the main number, you'll get in the subsequent number here in case of 4. So let's read here. This is just the mathematical representation written. So let's just move forward. And this is the known number is 4.188 divided by 4, which equals to 1 kg of sugar, or 1000 kgs, equals to 1000 kgs and 47 grams of sugar. So that was simple, just we have explained. This tells us that 40 kg of cane is required to produce 4.188 kg of sugar. And to find how many canes are required to produce 1 kg of sugar, simply divide 40 kg of cane with total amount of sugar uh, produce 4.188 kg of sugar. Now, this tells us that 40 kg of cane produces 4 kg of sugar, that is clear. And now to find out how many canes are required from 1 kg of sugar. Now how can we do that? We are going to simply divide 40 kg of cane with 4 kg of sugar. We are going to get the per kg cane, the per kg of sugar that is required to produce uh, quantity of sugar cane in numbers that is required to produce 1 kg of sugar. So here it is. It will give the answer of canes required to make 1 kg of sugar. So you know that 40 kg of cane produces 4 kg of sugar. Now you want to find out if there is, so you find out 1 kg of sugar. Now you want to find out how many canes are required, kgs of canes are required to produce 1 kg of sugar. So you are simply going to divide the total kgs of sugar, 40 kg divided by 4. You're going to get 9.5 approximately. So that tells that you require 9.55 kgs of sugar cane to produce 1 kg of sugar. And we are going to discuss it ahead, what numbers we need to consider in points, in the grams and whatnot. So, and how, if we anchor it on this number, on decimals, uh, here decimal, after the decimal number, we are going to consider it grams. So why should we consider the main units kgs only and not the grams for close to uh, precise calculations, you can say, for further precise calculations. Point number 20, this tells us that approximately 9.5 canes is required to produce 1 kg of sugar when the sugar recovery rate is 10.47%. Now we derived all this from with the reference of 10.7% of sugar recovery rate. That means we had first sugar recovery rate, then we have quantity of canes. We multiplied certain quantity of cane, let's say 40 kg, with 10.47% of sugar recovery rate. We got the quantity of sugar. From the quantity of sugar, let's say we got 4 kg of sugar. We divided with 4 kg with 1 kg of sugar, and from 1 kg of sugar, now we wanted to find out how many canes were used to produce 1 kg of sugar. So we found out from that reference point of 10.47% that the 1 kg of sugar will require approximately 9.55 kgs of cane. That makes 9 sticks of cane and a half stick of cane. So is that was the first initial point where I was deriving the numbers for the further calculations, and how it was not correct, and we are going to discuss it ahead and what is the correct way to make estimations based on the correct derived numbers. So on point number 21, it says here 9.55 canes mean 9 sticks and half cane with addition of one set, that is half plus one set, that we have discussed. 22 says, and this is the case for producing 1 plus kg of sugar at 10.47%, while the numbers may vary for cane required in 1 kg sugar production if the recovery rate varies. So if the recovery rate changes, the number of canes would change, that would be required to produce kgs of sugar. Now how? Also here the anchoring point cannot be made, that we are discussing now. Also here the anchoring point cannot be made 9.55 kgs of cane, which is 10 sticks of cane producing 1 kgs of sugar, 1.047 kgs of sugar, and then determining the other numbers. For example, when we multiply 9.55 kg of cane with 4 to with 4 kg of sugar, that is 4 number, to determine the number of canes we will be required to produce 4 kg of sugar, the answer would be 38.2, that we have discussed yesterday, of cane required to produce 4 kg of sugar, which would be correct technically, but here sugar production is calculated in reverse, that is from the sugar recovery rate, which is 10.47%. And how that would be incorrect, that we are going to discuss in point number 29. Therefore, first you calculated from available numbers 10.47% sugar recovery rate. You divide it with 40 kg of cane, you are going to get 4 kgs of sugar. Then you derive 1 kg of sugar by dividing 4 kg of sugar with 4, you're going to get 1 kg of sugar produced and any grams additional that you're also going to get. Then finding the canes required for 1.047 kg of sugar, which is dividing 40 kg of cane divided by 4 kg of sugar, and you're going to get 9.55 kg of cane per kg of sugar. Now this is the part of documenting the process stepwise. And then point number 25 says, and when you make 9.55 kg of cane required to produce 1 kg of sugar as an anchoring point to derive the subsequent numbers of sugar produced, such as 4 kg, 10 kg, 100 kgs of sugar, the numbers would vary because here the anchoring point numbers are 40 kg cane, 4.188 kg of sugar, and 10.47% of sugar recovery rate. And why that would be incorrect? These numbers are correct, but the way we are deriving the per kg sugar cane that is required for producing per kg of sugar in quantity. So why that would be incorrect, we are going to discuss in point 29. Just repeating again. So in point number 26, it's written at this point following numbers are known and how they are derived. So first we had sugar recovery rate, we divided it 40 kg of cane and we got 4 kg of sugar with additional grams. Then we divided 4 kg of sugar with 4, we got 1 kg of sugar. Then we had 40 kg of cane, we divided that 40 kg of cane with 4 kg of sugar and we got uh, 9.55 kg of cane, which was required to make 1 kg of sugar. We got the number how many canes will be required to make 1 kg of sugar. Then we had 1 kg of sugar, we divided it with 10 kg of cane, and then we got to know uh, which was equivalent to 104.7 grams of sugar made from 1 kg of cane. So when we divided 1 kg of sugar with 10 kg of cane, we actually spread the total quantity of 1 kg of sugar across 10 kg of canes. So the number that we got here is 104.7 grams, which shows that it is the 104.7 grams of sugar actually, which is spread across, which is equivalent to 1 kg of cane. It means 1 kg of cane, one stick of cane produces 104.7 grams of sugar when the sugar recovery rate is 10.47%. If the sugar recovery rate is different, it's going to be different. So then we had 10.747% sugar recovery rate. When you multiply it with 100 kgs of cane, we are going to get 10 kgs of sugar. And if we multiply sugar recovery rate 10.47% and multiply it with 1000 kg of cane, we are going to get 104 kgs of sugar. So we had the basic numbers and then we can derive the subsequent numbers. So here is the derivations. 1 kg of cane, first we had just this set price. We had this number only. That 182 per 40 kgs was a set price, which and that is 182 is the price and 40 is the kgs of cane. First you find out with this number, when you divide 182 divided by 40, you're going to get 4.55. That means it is the 1 kg of canes equals to 4.55 PKR rupees. And this is the process. When you divide 182 by 40, you're going to get 4.55, and then you multiply 4.55 with 1, you get 4.55 price. When you multiply 4.55 with 10, that is 10 kg of cane, you're going to get 45.50 price. That is the price of 10 kg of cane with respect to the prices which is set at 182 divided by 40. These are the set and the others are derived. Similarly, for 100 kg, the price would be 45.50 and 1000 kg's price would be 4550. Now this was just for the clarity and the documenting process, because often it happens when we go again and visit these numbers after months, we try to study how we get one thing from the another, so we do not tend to recall it that effectively. So therefore it is I find it essential when drafting or doing such sort of research to always document it, where we got what numbers and what reference or the what hypothesis or the questions from. So it becomes easy to make analysis later on. And if even if you tend to forget, we can find a way to know and read again and learn again, because uh, it happens when you don't read the same thing for um, in consecutive at consecutive intervals, you tend to forget it. So when you have to pick it after a long time again and to work on it, so it becomes difficult. So therefore, then point number 28 is similarly for sugar quantity and prices. Government set at 182 for PKR for 40 kg of sugar cane at sugar recovery rate of 10.47%. So at 10.47%, the sugar recovery rate, when at 10.47% sugar recovery rate, when you multiply with 40 kg of cane, you're going to get 4.118 kg of cane. Now this was the defined numbers, and the everything else is the subsequent numbers that you multiply 10.47% of sugar recovery rate with 10 kg of cane, you're going to get 1 kg of sugar. Similarly, when you multiply it with 100, you're going to get 10 kgs of sugar, and when you're going to multiply it with 1000 kgs of cane, you're going to get 104.7 kgs of sugar. Now this is the point 29, which is of utmost importance. Let's just read it, and we are going to discuss in detail in the next video. Uh, because the time has been consumed a lot in all of the readings of these previous points. So we are just going to read it. Easier way to do the calculations without going into anchoring and deriving numbers is by being mindful of units. When you divide 40 kg cane with 4 kgs of sugar, you get 1 kg of sugar. 1 kg of sugar, when you multiply with 4, you get 4 kgs of sugar. Now to find how many canes were required to produce 1 kg of sugar, here we will keep the focus on main units, kg of cane and kgs of sugar, not considering the additional sugar in grams. So 40 kg of cane produce 4 kg of sugar. Now you simply divide 40 kg of cane with 4 kgs of sugar, you get 10 canes, which implies the ratio of 10 to 1 means 10 kg of cane produce 1 kg of sugar. So why have we not considered the additional sugar in grams? When you anchor sugar produce 4 kgs for deriving 4.188 kgs for deriving canes used to produce sugar quantity, it reduces the quantity of cane from 10 in number to approximately 9.5. Why would that be wrong to use? Because sugar produced 4.188 kg signifies that the 10.47% of sugar recovery rate. This could mean that 40 kg of cane had sufficient sucrose content that it produced the 4 kg of sugar, making the whole sugar recovery rate at 10.47%. Therefore, when you consider 4 kg of sugar to find the number of canes, it reduces to 9.5 canes. While it is possible that there would be While it is possible that there would be 10 canes with enough sucrose content in them that it produces 1 kg of sugar, or 40 kg of canes with enough sucrose content in them that it produces 4 kg of sugar, which implies that to produce 1 kg of sugar, 9.5 kg of sugar cane is not required, rather the number is 10 kgs. So we have read it here. A simple reading does not make the clear explanation. So we are going to, I'll try to explain it in next video so that I may also recall it better. So let's just read the points here. It says, reading all the points that were explained yesterday, we have done that. From set prices, sugar quantity can be found, but from sugar quantity of canes, when derived, use numbers with same units, kgs or grams only. So that we have discussed briefly. We are going to discuss it in next video. Uh, the theory research based hypothesis indicates the sugar quantity from cane may depend on the variety, better sucrose content, and quality of cane, and not the quantity of cane. So that was all. Thank you.